Good afternoon. We are in a professional learning community, number 3, week of September 21st, 2015. I'm meeting with the 4th grade teachers at YB Escobar Elementary School. On our agenda, we have our opening. The agenda is going to be addressing teacher concerns. That's for you guys. Sharasa, would you like to add anything?
Do you have any concerns that you'd like to?
No, not at the moment.
Nothing? Okay. All right, we go to the next section. That'll be analyzing week 4 data. And some of the key questions that we're going to be going are what are you doing with your strugglers? What are you doing with your high achievers? Reading and math, all grade level. Writing, science, grade 4. Writing grade 4. That's what we're going to be covering. I don't know, Mr. Ross, how you want to lead this?
With this, remember that this is, we have data from last week, and this is the last week of instruction. The next week, we're already doing our 6 weeks exam. So the main thing is looking at the data and seeing how we're doing. And I'm going to look at the math first. And when we look at week 1, we had a 77 overall, right? Week 2, we went a little bit below, and we already discussed that in a previous PLC as far as our concerns of what caused that little dip. But then in week 3, we went up back to 90%. Week 4, 83%. So it normally fluctuates a little bit because of the topics from the whatever is covered that particular week. Sometimes they're a little bit more challenging, or those are things that we're addressing, and we're seeing that our students are struggling, and that's when we use our tutorial times to target those students that we know are struggling, and to making sure, remember that every day is a teaching moment, and ultimately we want to see the results, of course, on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and then ultimately on the 6 weeks basis when we do our 6 weeks exam, and just making sure that our kids are picking up the material. And if we have a situation where we know this particular topic, the students were struggling, that we don't forget about it and we keep addressing it and spiral it into what we're doing, just to make sure that with the extra exposure or different techniques that they can be successful in that particular topic that they might have struggled with, right? Any particular topic in math that you felt they struggled more this 6 weeks?
What was it, the rounding?
The round.
The rounding, yes. And this week, we're doing rounding again. Yes.
We're going kind of back to the basics, because then they have to like subtract and add. So the regrouping. So I'm saying, in my class, I'm seeing a little bit of problem here and there, but they're going to be staying for tutorials during PE.
And that's when they have to round and then add or subtract, right?
Yes. Some of them will only round, but they don't do the operation.
Oh.
So you have to be
Reminding them
yes.
about the operations, follow the steps. And that's what we've been seeing also in our grade level, that they're forgetting to do the steps for the whole operation, and they come with an answer that's totally off.
Yes.
But okay, that's good that you guys are doing the tutorials.
So they're multi-steps, and
Yeah.
they just want to do the first step, which is
Yes.
rounding and stop there,
Yeah.
but that's just the first step in order to, but then they have to do something with what they did as far as rounding.
They just need to get used to this new grade level.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
the new things that they have to do. They're like waiting for us to tell them every little thing that they have to do.
Every step.
Every step, every little thing that you think they know already, but
Yeah.
they don't. They expect for you to tell them any little thing.
And that's the same thing
So that's
that
something that we're learning too with them, right? That we have to be like that with them, tell them every.
guide them. And that's the same thing that we're going with in the dividing. They're expecting us to tell them, okay, now you do this and now you do that, and it's like you're following them. And
I guess that's normal because of the time of year right now.
yeah,
Later they'll be more ready.
But the good thing was they were struggling with rounding, but we're still doing rounding this week. So they're seeing.
so you guys are going back and
Yeah, seeing it
going to review it again.
Are you going over it again because
It's needed.
you struggled? I mean, because the students were struggling, or because it was in the timeline?
It was in the timeline.
It's in the timeline. So it's a good, it's a good just to keep practicing.
Reinforce it.
Yeah, reinforce it.
Because we took, it was only rounding, but they didn't add or subtract, and it was just a rounding, right?
Mhm.
And now it's adding and subtracting.
So now they're building on what was covered earlier, which was the rounding, and now that you're rounding, now that you're doing the rounding now, you're doing an extra step, which is good.
Mhm.
Now, what about your high achievers? I know since we're talking about other strugglers, what are you guys doing differently for your high achievers? How are you guys meeting their needs? Or any ideas you guys may have?
Well, like whoever understands helps the other ones, their
Like grouping them.
neighbor.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys are
Although
doing-
Cooperative
on the
learning.
harder problems, like the one behind the math,
Uh-huh.
it's the easy part, and then
Yeah, then
the
the word problem.
problem
More
solving.
challenging, yeah.
Problem
They'll
solving.
do those on their own while the others wait, and while the others finish.
Okay.
Yes, so,
Okay.
They go ahead.
Getting a little
Yes.
bit more challenged, and then also they participate.
because they know it, and then they'll finish first, and, okay, go to the next page, look at this problem.
And those are the most challenging ones in the back. for us.
Yes, yes, they're work problems, they're more.
Yeah. Another thing that I remember from our last week's meeting is that for our high achievers, it's also good to keep them behind. We were talking about
Oh,
it.
yes.
Also just
Yes.
to challenge them,
Mm-hmm.
just to reinforce your skills. I think our next topic would be writing. Writing grade 4. Any concern over?
With that one, it was mainly just the changes from the STAR test for the writing that we're doing. This year we're going from we used to have the 2 days, now we're going to 1 day. So now it's going to be 1 day. They gave us a revised assessment calendar, and you're going to be testing. It was the STAR test would be on March 29th. March 29th.
And
Which is-
they haven't decided if it's gonna be a narrative or.
They should be,
expository?
it should be coming very soon as far as details, as far as how it's gonna be. All we know is that it went from 2 days to 1 day. We don't know how they're gonna adjust it, but my understanding is within the next week or so. That we should know by they were gonna release it by September 25th or something like that, with the new blueprint or framework of that test. So we really don't know what they're gonna do. If they're gonna, all we know for sure that it's 1 day, 4 hours. And as far as the framework was, we'll wait for them to let us know, and then we'll adjust. I don't know, it could be where it's the same length, but they get the 2 essays, for example, and they get to choose one or the other. Or it could be where instead of the page, it's more of a shorter version of what they need to write, where it's maybe just half a page, just something briefly. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, and remember the papers that we gave you with all the samples and what's a 1, a 2, a 3, or 4. It's not the length, it's not the quantity, but the quality. A lot of times you would see one that has this much and it's an 8, and then one that's a whole page and it's a 1, because it's not there. So a lot of them just feel that they need to fill the whole page, but of course it's more of what's there. But we should have once we get that, then we'll look for trainings that they might offer in Region 1 to see if how, depends on the changes, how we can adjust to that, so that we can start targeting how it's going to be tested now, because now we don't know exactly what's going to happen. So just so that we're aware of it.
On another note on the writing, I've seen when I walked by, I see that you guys have put in your writing samples with what they write on the tables. I've seen that the kids are expressing their ideas and they enjoy writing, and
Yes.
they're really into it. And it's like I see it in 5th grade when they're morning journals. They really like those, not really the expository, but more like a narrative type and what they like to do. So that's why I focus on my journal, and I've seen that with them, and they come pretty good trained from over here. So good job on that.
Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Asa, that you like to cover on that part?
No.
All right, then move on to 504, dyslexia recommendation guidelines.
But most of your students the majority should have already been placed in
Yes.
504. But there might be students that might be new to the district that have not been identified, or that they are dyslexic students, but a lot of times they're bright students, but they cope with their dyslexia, and we don't notice it because they're smart enough to adapt and adjust, but that you might see that they have it. So the steps we're gonna follow now is you would go to Ms. Flores if you have a concern over a student, and she would give you a folder like this. On the inside, it'll have all the steps that you're gonna follow. Like here, it comes with the different checklists that you need to fill out, see if what you're observing in that particular student. And then once you do that, you turn it in, you talk to me, and we have a short meeting to discuss what you're seeing in that student. And then from there, I'll meet with Ms. Flores, and we'll decide if it merits for him to be tested or not. And then he'll be tested, and from there, we'll base it on the results on whether that student qualifies for dyslexia or for 504. Okay? So this, if you have concerns, but the majority, we've been trying to identify them as soon as possible. That way they can be going to the lab and getting that additional help. But just in case, you never know, some students, they might be dyslexic, and if we can help them out because of that, then we'll do our best to get them into the program. Okay?
Just make sure that they save any work, right, that they do.
Yes.
Make sure you keep track of all that data. That way you can present it when you're at the meetings.
If you're seeing the reversals, keep the
Yeah.
samples circled so that we can have it on file as far as a justification why we felt that we needed to do that.
Okay, another section, we have forms to be replaced in PRC by the end of the first 6 weeks. I know some of us have trouble getting them in order and turn them in on time. But let's just try to turn them in there. We got family income survey. Those Mr. Lopez, I know, was taking care of them, getting them in order. The numbers, remember, if they receive any help, any governmental assistance, just have their numbers, case numbers ready. Parental compact and verification statement. Another thing on the date, everything should be dated the day the student was enrolled. That's one of the main things. Any other concern that you guys might have with this, or any comments on it?
They're ready.
You're ready?
They're ready to be put in there.
Shazan, you have anything?
No, just that, I mean, and we want to be getting those in as soon as possible so that we don't have to wait till the end of the year, and that's when we're getting things done, also, because the further along, the more things that we have to do, so we want to keep these in place and make sure that we're replacing we remove the old one and put the new one there. Okay.
Air kickoff 2015, to be held through our library. We have a date already for that?
Yes, it's October the 2nd. That's next Friday. I know that you're still testing, but this would be in the afternoon. It would be around 2 o'clock, 1:45, 2 o'clock. And Ms. Guillen is out today, so I'll meet with her tomorrow so we can come up with a time. By that time, I know you're testing the math on Friday, but usually in the mornings you'll review and then you give them the test, right? So usually by 1:30, they should be done with the test, so it shouldn't interfere. One of the reasons I'm in on that Friday is because the other days we don't want to bother, because I know that they test in the morning and then in the afternoon, a lot of times you review or you do something ready for the next day, so this way they won't interfere with that. And it'll be like we usually do, where you all make like a little poster, and we want to use this time also to showcase our dance teams, and I know that they might not be ready yet.
We're ready for the cheer.
We're cheering.
For the cheer, but they might not be ready for the routine, but it'll be good, especially for the boys, now that we have a boys team, so that they can get that exposure with an audience, because instead of it being the first time in La Jamaica, which will be on October 11th or something like that. And then a plan is on that Friday, which would be on the 9th, I think, which is a Friday before the Jamaica, that they would perform. Maybe at the end of the day, around 1:30, we might have them do a trial run practice, so they can practice the dance teams, and so it won't be, the Jamaica won't be the very first time they've performed it, and it gives the coaches a chance to see what they need to adjust and things like that, okay?
I wanted to add on the Erica Cup, that y'all did a great job last year. It was my first time participating, and I saw lots of enthusiasm from the grade level. The kids were really into it. You guys did a good job. Hopefully this year we can do the same thing also here in 5th grade. Something very positive for the kids. 6 weeks exams, that's the next one. We have a schedule right here. Okay, here you go. Basically, I just want to read it off here. For pre-kinder, we have all week, reading and math. Kindergarten's there, they have their days. For you guys in 4th grade, Monday, September the 28th, you'll be testing your science. On Tuesday, the 29th, your social studies. On Wednesday, your writing. And Thursday, October the 1st, your reading. And Friday, the math. So you guys have Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday to prepare for your Thursday and Friday after you guys test. Keep in mind, we do have on Friday, we do have our kickoff that we were talking about. Any changes to the testing schedule, Mr. Garza will approve them. If there's any changes, we'll let you guys know ahead of time. We still should be in the 4-hour time limit, right? Okay.
Do y'all have any concerns as far as how we have it scheduled?
No. Great.
Fine with you
That
guys?
works with us.
Yes.
That works? Okay. All right. So you guys have that. The next one, cafeteria and bus behavior. I have not really participated in cafeteria and the bus behavior-wise. I haven't just want to drop them off, but
No, just talk to your students about the behavior in the buses mainly, because some of them are, you have to understand that there's a bus, there's 40, 50 kids, and there's a bus driver, and there's a teacher aide, one teacher aide, sometimes we can get two, but the teacher aides also have to be sitting down so they can't see, so just that we've been having problems with some of the kids misbehaving a little bit. Just talk to them and that they need to be behaving, listening to the bus driver, listening to the teacher aide that's there. If not, they can lose their privilege of using the bus, and we've done it already. Okay. And the cafeteria, same thing, just right now we're shorthanded, we don't have our parent tutors yet, so we're shorthanded there, so just tell them that we need their best behavior. And 4th grade is fine, we have no problem with 4th grade.
okay. Another note on the cafeteria and bus, you guys have been doing a great job taking your kids on time, picking them up on time, walking your kids to the bus area. Remember, always got to keep in mind student safety. Always monitoring on the way out. I've seen you guys when you guys walk them out. Good job. And I know we have been having trouble adjusting to the new bell schedules. At times they ring, at times they don't, so we have Mr. Lopez calling us, reminding us, but other than that, you guys are doing a great job. Attendance posting, I know today was the first day. Everything was online. Mr. Lopez already had set up all our accounts. So you guys should be posting by 9 o'clock. I know some of us have trouble. I myself am one. But as long as we just keep trying to post before 9. Anything that you'd like to answer on that?
No, just there was a couple of teachers that had when Manuel posted, they were doing 3rd period instead of 2nd because Manuel did it wrong, so he's fixing, but it was in the lower grades. But none of you, everybody here was 2nd period.
That's fine. All right. Tutorials, we're going to begin with our tutorials. Grades 3rd through 5th. We're going to start in October 2015. So you guys, we're going to go once a week still?
Once a week for the fall semester and twice a week for the spring.
And hopefully one Saturday, at least one Saturday, right?
The thing was, we were trying to do the 2 Saturdays like we did last year, but this year we're not going to be able to do it. Besides, it's not in the budget. It's also when you all do the writing, which is on March 29, the Saturday before is the Saturday of Easter weekend. So we don't come to, we have school, we don't have school on Friday, so we don't want to do there's no way to do it, so maybe we can talk about doing something on, since you're all testing on Tuesday, maybe on Monday,
Okay.
we can do like a little lock-in or something, maybe from 2 to 5 or something like that. We'll think about
Okay,
it, when
something
we have
like
time,
that.
maybe
Yeah.
something like that, where we can work something out, and maybe, we'll see what we can work out or something like that to, if you feel, well, it depends on how we're doing, and if we see the need for the writing, and depends on what changes the state does as far as the framework of that test, and we'll see what we can do or how we can adjust it so that we can do that. But then the plan is to have one on May, which is when May you test on the 9th and 10th. That would be the math and the reading. Have it on the 7th. May 7th will be the Saturday where we do it. And of course, we'll be having weekly tutorials after school. So that would be a Saturday, but the other one we couldn't because of that.
Okay, on the tutorial part, just keep in mind, let's try to focus on our kids, the ones that need the most help. That way we can address that, way they can try to be successful in the following 6 weeks exams, on your daily exams. I mean, weekly exams, just check on them, see that they are actually progressing, and you guys feel that you need to keep it behind PE tutorial as well. It's up to you guys. I know another thing on tutorials is, I know that we have our times trouble sending her a list at the last minute of how many kids are going to stay behind and having trouble with snacks. So Mr. Lopez will be taking care of the snacks like last year, I believe. So just,
There's still gonna be snacks.
Well, we're gonna find out,
We do it at 1 o'clock.
because we do those, so I'm not sure if they're gonna provide another snack.
Okay.
so they do, so we'll be tentative to Mr. Lopez, whatever he lets us know on that. Bell schedule, just dismissal times for you guys. It's gonna be 2:58, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, parent pickup. That should be the first bell ring. If you guys don't hear it ring, just be tentative to your clocks and watch the time. And 3:05 should be 2nd to the 5th. And walk through to the buses, what we covered earlier.
Any concerns with the bells and the dismissal? Yeah, there was just the first week or so that we had some big issues, but yeah, it seems like everything's.
No, but we would keep ours. We're close to the buses, so we'll keep ours and then we'll just, yeah.
Okay. Grade books must be updated by Friday, September 25th. I know that we were posting grades already, some of us, and we've been hearing announcements that I don't know updated, so let's just try to do that. Anything that you'd like to add?
Remember that the parents, they can come talk to your parents, that if they want access, there's a parent portal, where as a parent, if they want to, they would need to come to me and I can print out a page, and it has a code, and they go into the website, the parent portal, they create, like I have one for my son. Well, I haven't done it this year, but I need to create it for this year. And basically, you get emails. I'm not sure about text messages, but you get emails saying that grades were posted. Attendance, but then attendance, you would get an email, for example, if he was marked absent, right? Or tardy, for whatever reason, that way you would know. And you would also get that grades have been posted, and you can log in and you can see the grades that the teacher posted. So so that we make sure that we are keeping it up to date, because parents, there's a lot of parents that want to know how their kids are doing, and they'll be looking into it, and so they can see how the progress and things. So we want to keep it updated, and it's always good to be doing it on a timely manner than waiting for the end of the 6 weeks and then cramming everything and trying to hurry and finish when, remember that 6 weeks will be over next Friday. Then by October the 7th, which is Wednesday, that's a deadline to mark your post your grade, so that we can run the report cards by Thursday the 8th.
Good. The next one, weekly data due by Tuesday to Ms. Cantu, pre-K to 2nd, and Mr. Lopez, 3rd to 5th. I think Tuesday's more than enough time, that way we have our kids who are absent on Friday, we can test them on Monday, or do a little quick review on Monday, test them Monday afternoon or Tuesday morning. I don't know if you guys have any issues with the data being turned in? Any concerns, any other way that you guys might want to do it?
No, it's
That's fine. You guys want to add it? No? Should escort students, reminder all students should escort students to the buses. We covered that already. Just keep on doing it, walk into the buses, student safety. Lesson plans are due by Friday via email. So that way Mr. Lopez can already know and the administrative team can know what's going to be covered next week. So when they go by your rooms, they're able to see that you're following the plan or if there's any adjustments made. Copies of the weekly tests are due Friday prior to the week. So that way you guys don't have to be cramming the copy room or being shorthanded on copies, and you guys are able to have everything on time. And maintain good discipline. Basically, student safety right there again. Just that we can have a good class and they can listen and provide a good learning environment. Anything that you all would like to add from there? No? See, cover that. Okay, guess that concludes our meeting, right? But before you guys go, have a little survey for everybody. It's an anonymous survey about the meeting, see how it went. And once you guys are done with it, you guys can turn it in and that'll be it. All right?
Okay, thank you.
All right, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, I just, we have a